Have you ever wondered who Jesus would say is a true worshiper? You can actually see exactly who he says a true worshiper is in John chapter 4. If you haven't read it, I would encourage you to go read it. It comes in a conversation that he's having with a Samaritan woman at the well. Him and his disciples were leaving Judea and they're heading to Galilee, so they were hungry and thirsty, so they stopped in this Samaritan town. The disciples went into town to go get something to eat, and Jesus stops off at a well, and there's a lot of wisdom just in this little conversation he's having with this lady. He basically asks her, hey, can I have something to drink? And she basically questions him, why is a Jew having a conversation with a Samaritan woman? It's really wasn't part of the tradition at the time. And Jesus says, well, if someone were to get a drink from the living waters that I have, no one would be thirsty ever again. And the Samaritan woman says, man, I'd love to have a drink from that water. Then I wouldn't have to come to this well every single day. And Jesus goes, why don't you go home and get your husband? Let's talk about it. And she's like, well, I don't have a husband. And then Jesus tells her exactly, you've had 5 husbands, and the man you're with right now is not your husband. And that catches the woman off guard, and she basically says, you must be a prophet to know something like that. And then she goes on to ask him, if you're a prophet, why is it that the Jewish people say that you can only worship God in Jerusalem in a temple when they believe, the Samaritans believe, that you could worship God on the mountain where Jacob was? And Jesus goes on to tell her, and this is where he gets to the point of who a true worshiper is. He's like, I'm telling you, now is the time when true worshipers are the ones who worship in spirit and in truth. And he goes on to say that the Father in heaven is actually looking for worshipers just like that. And then he says, because God is spirit, you must worship in spirit and in truth. Basically saying it's not about a place, a building, a temple, a mountain. It's about being able to worship, bow the knee to the King of all kings. It's about being able to be in spirit. Since God is spirit, it's through your Holy Spirit, spirit to spirit, connecting with the creator of all things, and worshiping in truth, which is the living word, which is the King Jesus, which is understanding who God really is and being able to connect with them. I would encourage you to read that little passage today. See what the Holy Spirit has to say to you. Pray about it. There's power in understanding that true worship comes in spirit and in truth. It's a beautiful day in Georgia. I hope it's a beautiful day where you are. If it is, go outside, tell God what you're grateful for. Go for a walk with the King of Kings. Get into the Bible and get into prayer. I think that you'll be glad that you did.